What may be coming is welcome news, and we'll find out just what that news is tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. at a mayor's press conference. I was here earlier when firefighters were finishing up an investigation on the cause of a fire at this house right behind. A neighbor told us today he thinks an extension cord and some oxygen tanks caused the explosion at a Boone County trailer last night. Mitt Romney now has 3 wins in the presidential primary season, and he's looking like the man to beat. I'm live here in St. Charles at the Convention Center, and Senator Santorum just finished speaking right behind me. There was a lot of excitement in this room because it's been announced by several sources that Santorum won the primary here. Well, spring fever is in full bloom in Columbia and across much of the country, but others remain stuck in the dead of winter. Students are getting ready to march right behind me. You can see there's a pretty big crowd. The bill would essentially create statewide standards for reporting cyberbullying in school. Selling cookies can be a chore for Girl Scouts across the state, but one local troop changed how they sell Samoa. Students at New Franklin can take classes with teachers that aren't even in the building via a video conference, just like the one I'm on. Egypt's new cabinet was sworn into office on national television today. The number of people with thyroid cancer increased by about 6.5% in recent years, but doctors don't know why. Representatives with Mid-America Brick say this isn't a layoff. They're calling it a work stoppage, even though they don't have a specific date to resume manufacturing. They'll still sell inventory, but the majority of Mid-America Brick staff are out of work for the time being. I went to Mexico today to see what this means for a town that built its history with bricks. Mexico is no stranger to the brick industry. AP Green, another brick manufacturer, made its home at 600 Green Boulevard for nearly 100 years. The company employed about 800 Mid-Missourians and meant something to the area.
AP Green was the backbone of Audrain County.
The vision of CEO Frank Cordy and the opening of Mid-America Brick in summer of 2010 brought hope back to Mexico in the middle of a recession.
The impact of the jobs that he has created and added and brought to the community has brought people into the area. He's put $20 million worth of investment, or investors have put $20 million into the facility.
Those at Mid-America Brick are optimistic the hold on manufacturing will be short.
We are in a seasonal business. Construction is slow this time of year, so we will have to curtail our operations for a brief period of time and hopefully start up after the first of the year sometime.
And Mexico residents hope he is right.
AP Green has been there forever, and I think anything you can get back out of it is going to be an asset to the county and the city as well.
An asset and a seasonal beacon of hope for the community. 2 businesses did buy Mid-America's bricks this fall, the Missouri Military Academy and Consolidated Electric, both in Mexico. And again, the company will continue to sell bricks from its inventory. That sound cues dozens of anxious students at Benton Elementary School to head for the lunchroom. Federal numbers show the state's list of students on subsidized lunch has risen 9% in 4 years. Benton's number has been rising constantly, and Principal Troy Hogg says students in the program come from homes where change is constant.
Those students, because they're living at that level, they may or may not have a home. They may or may not be in public housing. They may or may not have a car. All of those things impact whether they're going to be learners or not, whether they're going to be in school or not.
The cost of a regular student lunch at Benton Elementary School is $2.10. That includes this trade food, a milk, and a serve-yourself fruit and salad bar. But many families have found the cost of lunch is too high to afford.
I think that if families are struggling and they're not aware that we take applications all year long, that they should always at least try to put in an application and see if their household qualifies, because I think they'll find that it will help them a great deal.
According to CPS numbers, 42% of Columbia students are enrolled in free and reduced lunch, and more than 90% of students at Benton participate. Alexandra Stone, KOMU8 News, Columbia. Carts roll in and out of the Serve Food Bank supply room, but there isn't nearly as much food to fill them. Ryan Miller has been managing the storeroom since September.
I started out doing community service, and it just progressed from there. I guess they liked the way I did things, so.
But it's harder to do his job with so little.
Horrible feeling. And just me, I like to help as much as I can, and since Christmas it's got low and lower and lower, and it's not a very good feeling at all, so knowing you can't help that many people.
The team of volunteers typically serves around 1,000 people a month, giving out 40,000 pounds of food. Last night these shelves were almost empty, but one local donor heard about the need for food and brought all these canned goods in right here just this morning. But those cans won't last long. Organizers are banking on more donations like those from the Scouting for Food drive tomorrow.
We ration out food here to the families to keep it going as long as we can. But our ultimate goal is to provide, 5 days worth of food for a family. and that obviously can't happen if we don't have the donations.
The number of families served has increased over the past 10 years by about 700 people. Alexandra Stone, KOMU 8 News, Callaway County.